What is going on YouTube? It is another video, another reaction video, and this is the Killdozer. And this was a very infamous event that happened way back in 2004. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really know, I didn't really hear about it till I think a few years back when a guy kind of did a recollection of it because no, he was the one. He was the one that was talking about it. I was thinking that a fan did, but no. And and when I saw that this came up, I was like, "Oh, I think this would be a great video to react to." And let's see the events that go down with this man. Let's go.
Friday, June
Bam.
4th, 2004. An Air Force veteran settling down in the small town of Granby, Colorado, quickly found himself at his breaking point after losing a decade-long legal battle to a powerful family dynasty who took his land and ran his muffler shop out of business. To enact revenge, the welder fortified a bulldozer into a homemade tank and set out to destroy the small town that took everything from him, resulting in a response from the Army National Guard and an Apache helicopter.
You had to take me on en masse. Well,
bro, that was crazy. The footage of this is crazy.
I'm going to take you on by myself.
In 1992, an auction...
Okay, might I say this? This was one man, by the way. One man did this. But, okay.
was held in the small town of Granby, Colorado, in which a foreclosed 2-acre property was to be sold to individual bidders. And Cody Dochev, a powerful Colorado businessman, saw an opportunity to expand some of his business, with plans to buy and build a state-of-the-art concrete plant for his company, Mountain Park Concrete. But to Dochev's surprise, there was another man who had his eye on the foreclosed property, Air Force veteran and Granby newcomer, Marvin Heemeyer, who outbid Dochev and secured the 2-acre property for $42,000 to build a muffler shop and expand his welding business. A frustrated Dochev confronted Marv and advised him that the town of Granby doesn't need another car garage, to which Marv advised Dochev that the property was his for $60,000, but Dochev declined his offer and refused to give in to the blue-collar outsider. Marv left the auction with no idea what was to come. The outsider had inadvertently derailed the plans of one of Granby's most prominent and powerful families, and the Dochevs were sure to never let him forget. By the late summer of 1992, Marvin Heemeyer settled in to his new hometown of Granby. He renovated the 2-acre property and built a large warehouse to serve as his body shop. And shortly after, Mountain View Mufflers was officially opened for business. His neighbors at Mountain Park Concrete weren't too pleased, among them Cody Dochev. And in the months to follow, the Dochev secured a loan and offered Marv $250,000 for the 2-acre property. But Marv reportedly raised the price to $375,000 and again to $1 million, further agitating.
Ooh, $1 million? This is what? This was 90s, right? 91? Dude, that's that's some hefty cash. Oh yeah, back in the 90s. Oh man, I don't even know how much that would be today. That'd probably be what, like 2.3 million, probably. I don't know, something like that.
A few weeks later, Marv received a letter from the town of Granby informing him that his property sewage wasn't up to code. He assumed the problem wouldn't take much work and inquired on how and where to hook up his sewage lines. But to his surprise, the lines were located nearly 500 feet from his property, and with him being responsible for the materials, construction, and months of labor, Marv was shit out of luck with a $100,000 estimate just to connect his sewage. And to add even more red tape, Marv's property didn't even have a maintenance easement. And because the easement would traverse property lines, Marv had to seek the approval of his neighbors over at Mountain Park Concrete, directly from Gus Harris and Cody Dochev.
Yep, and there it is. There it is. And of course, and it's going to be connected, tied to, of course, his rival. Who would have thought? The dynasty.
Marv went straight to the board of the sewer district, run by another Granby family dynasty, Ron Thompson, a friend of Dochev's and brother of Granby Mayor Dick Thompson. And like Dochev, Ron Thompson wasn't too keen on outsiders like Marv. Thompson gave him an ultimatum: $90,000 to get his sewage ordeal fixed and up to code, or remain unconnected and face the consequences. Left with no choice, Marv refrained from connecting his sewage with hopes of finding a cheaper alternative in the future. And by November of that year, Marv returned to the sewage board and demanded.
Why does he need to connect sewage? He could just have a what is it, a septic tank? What, that's not viable or something? What, they don't have they don't have a, they probably don't even have a waste plant. It's probably not even big enough to even have a waste plant, because from what it looks like it kind of looks like a town. So it makes sense why something like that exists. But oh baby, yeah, he's screwed. Yeah.
Easement and settled a deal with Gus Harris to traverse his property at $20,000 per acre. But in the weeks to follow, Gus Harris ghosted Marv and failed to honor his word, forcing Marv's sewage to remain unconnected for several months. And the months became years, and by 1998, the Dochefs decided to move forward with their construction plans of a massive indoor concrete plant. Marv resisted, but wanted to maintain a cordial relationship with the Dochefs, but he was inevitably forced to act, as the Dochefs intended on building in the southwest portion of Marv's property, where Marv had already planned on building a large parking lot for his customers. The Dochefs applied for and received a bizarre location-specific zoning permit that exempts certain plots of land from zoning laws if the purpose of rezoning falls into specific categories. And by the time he figured it all out, Marv was well past the 30-day deadline to appeal the decision. Construction vehicles and operations blocked off the only road to the muffler shop, and Marv began to lose customers. Out of desperation, Marv purchased a Komatsu bulldozer to make his own road for his customers, but he was shut down by Town Hall. And by November of 2002, a judgment was made against Marv for failing to connect his sewer line. The court ordered that the muffler shop remain closed, and with the Dochef denying easement, Marv was found in violation and was fined $100 a day until he connected his sewage. On November 17th of
Yeah, like it's so crazy how like they're so adamant of him having this sewage. I'm like, is it really a problem of him having a septic tank? Like, is it really that much of a problem? Like, he could get himself a fairly sizable septic tank and not have to worry about it for like every like 4 years, probably every maybe 4 to 5 years, depending how often it's being used. But given that it's his business, I don't really think it's. I mean, maybe he's living there, maybe his family's living there, which I maybe I doubt. But given that it's his business, I don't think it's being used all the time. So I'm pretty sure that septic tank will probably get filled up maybe like in 5, 6 years, probably, if it's a really, if it's a really nice size. But still, I mean, would it be as I don't think it'd be as expensive in terms of like having a whole sewage line. But it's crazy because at no point, and none of this is ever said about what is it of about there being a septic tank can be what is it can be optional. But as I said, there is no. I don't. There is there is a sewage system. So there's bound. So there's going to be a waste plant somewhere nearby that shouldn't be too far away. But who knows?
2003, Marv wrote a check for the amount of $3,351, which he addressed to the Cowards and Liars Department after having felt completely violated by the Dochefs and their shady political dealings. He lawyered up and took the town of Granby to court, but failed yet again and was punished for it, as the town turned around and reimposed additional fines of up to $1,000 for leaving abandoned vehicles on the rezoned property. And to add fuel to the fire, a local Granby newspaper wrote an editorial piece speaking poorly of Marv interfering with the Dochef's business, as if Marv was the bad guy. He was now stuck in a situation he had no way out of. A useless property, zero income, and his property and belongings were auctioned off. His direction and hopes for the future were in his mind stolen. What once was a dream became a nightmare. He truly believed that the town of Granby maliciously conspired against him, because the town of Granby perceived to have conspired against him. And that's what officials in Granby will never understand, whether or not they had malicious intent. If you carry the tools to break a man and present yourself as the villain, perception is reality. And in April of 2004, in Marv Heemeyer's reality, revenge trumped forgiveness, as he fortified half-inch steel plates insulated with concrete on the bulldozer.
And the thing about it is that since he owned a mechanic shop, he had these tools available. He had all these things available to him. So You know, some may say, how'd he get all these things? Well, he owns a muffler company. I mean, that's all. What is it? That's all steel, brass. Well, mainly steel. You know, it's all the metals that you could think of, especially with welding too. It's like, come on now. But this is gonna get even crazier, man.
I have had a perfect life up until 1999 when I found out what the Thompsons had done to me in 92. And I am not going to take it. And I have to use the resources that I have,
Dang.
the wherewithal that I have, the ability that I have, the knowledge that I have
Mm-hmm.
to make this right. I am not walking away from it. Maybe I'm being a coward by doing what I'm doing. Because without a doubt,
honestly, I don't think so. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, you got bullied so much into all this, like, all this, like law. What is it? All this, you know, lawyer. You know, all these, like, all these cases and all that stuff. I would be like, I would have been pissed too. And seeing the fact that, you know, the people, you know, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, man. I think it's just things that just ended bad and got worse and worse and worse. And I don't know, maybe it was due to this guy's negligence. Maybe I'm just hung up the idea that you know about anything about a septic tank, but I don't know, man. It's a crazy, you know, everything that's going that went down. But okay,
doing what you have done. I'm lying. I'm conspiring. I'm keeping things secret. And it's going to happen. If I would have been married, have family, you know, things may have gone different.
he has nothing to lose now.
But God built for this job.
God, this music, dude. This, this music, man. Yeah, man. When you break someone to the point that they have nothing to lose anymore, that's a person that you have to fear, especially when they have industrial tools.
You had to take me on en masse. Well, I'm going to take you on by myself.
He's he is so determined. Yeah.
Good morning, Colorado.
It's great to get started with you.
Good Morning Colorado starts your day with what you need. Updating.
Randy. Oh, there it is. There it is. Look at that guy. He'll be like, stop right there. Stop right there. It's like, dude, there's literally nothing you could do.
Luann, can you take us through it chronologically so people get a sense? I know it all started about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Where did he begin? Do you know?
Marv took the dozer straight through the Mountain Park concrete plant. His arch nemesis, Cody Dochev, tried to stop the onslaught by ramming Marv's Killdozer with a wheel tractor scraper, but retreated
No,
once
but
Marv
it
opened
couldn't.
fire
It
through
can't.
one of 3 gun ports installed on the Killdozer.
Yeah. It was a tractor, but it wasn't a bulldozer. But yeah, but here's the thing: given that how much weight it has and how much speed, I mean, I don't even know if the bulldozer is even modified in terms of its engine. I don't know if it's even modified or anything like that. It might have been, given that he's a mechanic. He might have modified the engine where it's probably giving what is it, more horsepower, probably, you know, in theory, but. That's crazy, man. Yeah, but great, but it was a tractor at the same time. It wasn't a bulldozer.
Once the concrete plant was successfully demolished, he moved on to Town
Dang.
Hall. Next, he destroyed the Granby newspaper office that slandered his name. Police responded to the
Oh
chaos
wow,
and had
bro! If that newspaper that had said nothing, that newspaper will still be there. But he's like, I'm taking everyone who, they took my money. What is it? They took my money. They slandered my name. That's crazy, dude. Dude, he's missing nobody.
No means to stop the dozer. Their futile attempts to open fire and pierce the fortified shell proved useless.
Police couldn't stop the slow-moving
No,
bulldozer,
it's
which was
literally
armored with heavy iron
it's
plates
literally more than
welded
like
in place of windows.
Using cameras installed on the top.
Dude, like how thick that armor is, not even a 50 BMG round could penetrate it because it's so thick.
The shell, Marv was able to maneuver and return fire toward police. Officer Glenn Trainer of the Granby Police Department rushed the Killdozer and climbed atop the shell in an attempt to find an opening, but to his surprise, the entire shell was welded shut as one fixed piece. Marv Heemeyer had no way out and purposefully lowered the shell over himself to commit to his plans, sealing himself inside.
Yeah.
Then Colorado State Governor Bill Owens requested the National Guard to dispatch an Apache attack helicopter, as well as troops equipped with Javelin anti-tank missiles.
He is just headed westbound again. This is tape. He is again headed westbound into the downtown area. Right there, may have taken out a radiator he doesn't stop for.
And while striking a hardware store, the Killdozer turtled between the foundation and the basement, leaving the dozer stuck. And after 2 hours of pure carnage, a SWAT team approached the dozer and reported hearing the sound of a single gunshot from within, as Marvin Heemeyer, with no way out and no means to free the dozer, took his life.
Yeah, that happened. The aftermath. God, I really hope he mentions the part of like, supposedly, I don't know how true it is, supposedly the government like dismantled it and kind of and like shipped the pieces in different parts of the US. And I don't think people really know where. I think, I'm not too sure.
After hours of trial and error, authorities were able to break open the shell using an oxyacetylene cutting torch and recovered Marvin Heemeyer's body at approximately 2 a.m. The Killdozer was demoed, and its components were destroyed and dispersed between several junkyards.
There it is.
The rampage caused an estimated $7 million in property damage, and nobody was killed or injured during the incident, apart from Marvin Heemeyer. Leading up to the incident, Marv gave away all of his financial assets to his friends and family, and left various notes behind for his friends and his enemies. In the end, it was perceived that Marv was sabotaging Dochev's business plans, and not the other way around. And no matter how you look at it, perception is reality.
Dang, bro. You Granby have got to learn to listen. Can you hear me now? Bro, that's crazy, dude. And the town never recovered and shut down forever.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more mini documentaries in the works.
Bro, this is great.
And you don't want to miss them. So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Yeah, for real, dude. This was great. Oh my god, dude. The kid, dude, the whole thing going down with that whole event is crazy. And I'll be honest with you, man. Yeah, if he didn't have his own family, I think that whole thing would have ended up very differently. He would have never have, I don't think he would have done that because he understands the damage it would have done with his own family. But since he had none, since he had no family of his own, well, he lost everything. He lost money, practically lost his business, lost his property, lost everything. Now he's angry, determined, and now wants revenge, and got his revenge by building the ultimate vehicle. That's crazy, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and what's your favorite bit of this Killdozer video? But man, determination, of someone who has nothing to lose is a very scary thing. And that's something that you do not mess with people. That's the reason why, even what is that, when I'm out every day, I try to keep to myself and not to try to do anything stupid, because there could be that one person who just has nothing to lose anymore, and they could, you know and I won't be alive anymore. Keep to yourself, guys. All right. Hope you guys have a good one. Like the video, and have a good day. Peace.